Hello again, Southeast Saskatchewan. Nick Nielsen here, as well as Craig Bird for another military history lesson here for Southeast Saskatchewan. Now, of course, the South Saskatchewan Regiment, we just repatriated the colors here to the Legion about a month ago now.
A month ago, yeah.
And there's lots more history to that unit here at the museum, including some of the stuff behind us. So what can you tell us today?
Well, we've got a display case set up right for the whole South Saskatchewan Regiment because they were part of the Southeast. They recruited out of mainly Estevan and Weyburn, but as well as the whole Southeast region. So we thought it appropriate to showcase that and dedicate the memory of all of the men that served in the unit up to 1968 when they were officially stood down. So we have some items from the regiment in here, as well as some photos and some uniforms of the men that had served with the unit.
And that's pretty much everything in this case here, is it not?
Pretty much. We do have a German uniform that was loaned to us in here as well. Not part of the regiment,
obviously.
Just to give a little bit of a historical taste to the whole thing. Most of the items in here are World War II vintage, but some of them are post World War II as well. We have a uniform in here for Lieutenant Merrill Menzies, who served with the South Saskatchewan Regiment. And again, I have his history coming, but unfortunately don't have his complete history here. So we do know a little bit about him, and that he was wounded in August of 1944. But other than that, we have some more history and information coming. The nice thing that we have in here is all of the wartime photos. So we have headquarters company for the battalion. So that's just the administration staff, the cooking staff, all of the people that drove the supply trucks, that sort of thing. So you can see by the size of the photo, there was quite a few people involved with the administration of the unit and getting them up and combat ready so that they could fight. And then we have all of the companies, A, B, C, and D company of the South Saskatchewan Regiment in the photos as well. And I'm just in the process. We do have the list of all of the men that had served in those companies, but I don't know the individuals. We're trying to piece together all the names of the gentlemen that were in the photos at that time. So it's an ongoing process, and it's again a little bit of history, and we're getting lots of information from the families of the men that had served, and individual photographs so that we can identify the bigger photographs to find out who's all in them. Absolutely,
and obviously a very big part of Southeast Saskatchewan's military history here as well. It's the regiment that was recruiting from right here in this area. So is there any particular stories that come out of this regiment as well that come to mind for you?
Well, Dieppe is the biggest one. It was one of the main battles that the South Saskatchewan were remembered for, and we have one of the history books actually here that it was all handwritten at one point, and then somebody took the time to type it out, but it has all the casualties. And to think that a regiment at the time would have been around 900 to 1,000 men, through reinforcements and through the fighting throughout the war, the South Saskatchewan had to replenish its numbers 4 times during the course of the war. So there was a lot of men, not only from the southeast area, but all over the place that went to the South Saskatchewan Regiment to keep its numbers up throughout the war. And some were taken prisoner. Mr. Cease Merritt, up in the top right-hand corner, was one of the gentlemen that actually won a Victoria Cross for his action in Dieppe and saving some of his men's life. He was the commanding officer at the time that the Dieppe raid took place. So a lot of history there, and he was here in Estevan at one point, and fortunately I was able to meet him before he passed away in 2002. But unfortunately, like most of the veterans of the South Saskatchewan, there's not a lot of them left, and even the ones that had served after the war, because the unit was stood down in 1968, aren't around either. So they're getting fewer and fewer. So it's important to me to be able to get that history and save it.
Absolutely, and that's the importance behind Remembrance Day as well, and why stories like these are so important to preserve, and artifacts like these are so important to make sure that we can still take a look at these and learn more of the history that has helped shape the country into what it is today. So thank you for paying attention to today's lesson here. Craig Bird, thanks for joining me as well. We'll have another history lesson for you tomorrow on discoverestevan.com.